Hello everyone, my name is Shwang Joshi and I'm co-founder of Law Community. And today I welcome you all on Lawyer Speaks. In this session, we have invited a very special guest, Mr. Satish Padi. Sir is a principal associate in the Dispute Resolution Practice Group in New Delhi office of Khaitan and Cooperation. Sir specializes in contractual and commercial laws dispute with focus on hospitality, construction, infrastructure, oil and gas sector dispute. So, sir, welcome to Law Community. And my first question is, why should one pursue law as a career option? And what are the various avenues available to an upcoming young law graduate?
Thanks for the question. So, laws as a profession can give you a very diverse and enriching experience, which probably no other profession can match. No 2 days can be similar, and the intellectual quotient and it can provide a lot of fulfillment as well. It is a profession which is based on various skill sets, and if you can pursue your calling and if you can develop a passion for the law, then it can provide you with an experience of lifetime of learning and application, which probably is unmatched in any other profession. And today we are in an era where the legal profession presents you with a young upcoming lawyer with a plethora of opportunities, starting from joining. A young lawyer can graduate from a law school and join a law firm. Law firms provide you an opportunity to practice in diverse areas, starting from corporate laws to disputes to energy infrastructure laws to IP laws to competition laws. So, whatever is the interest area of a student, he can pursue that. And similarly, there are a plethora of opportunities available in the in-house sector, that is with various companies in different sectors, be it the hospitality sector, be it the e-commerce sector. And accordingly, if somebody is interested in the judiciary, then after graduation, one can prepare and give the judicial services examination, which also has become very fulfilling, prestigious, as well as remunerative. Then, as a lawyer, as a law student, your writing skills are always very good. So therefore, one can pursue journalism as well and can do sort of a career which is at the intersection of media and law as well. And of course, those who are civil service aspirants, they can also pursue IAS, taking law as their major paper. So there are a number of opportunities, and despite COVID-19, a young upcoming law graduate need not be pessimistic and needs to be optimistic. And the world is just out there for him or her to make use of the opportunities and build a career in.
Sure, sir. So, sir, my next question is, what should a law student focus on during his law school days, and how to constructively utilize time at law school?
I think the law school experience, as they say, the time of one spends at the law school are probably going to be the best years of one's life. So therefore, as a law student, one needs to be authentic to who you are, and utilize the time constructively, and not only become very studious and but also pursue some passion. So somebody might be interested in mooting, then they can take up mooting as a passion and hobby and pursue it as an extracurricular activity. Whereas some others student might find writing and publishing articles as a hobby and a passion, and they might enjoy that. Then they should pursue that relentlessly and write articles and build a name for himself. Now the other thing is, what is important is to develop certain skill sets as well in the law school. So your skills of dealing with primary sources of law, that is statutes, interpreting them, as well as reading judgments and knowing how to distinguish between what the judgment says and what the judgment does. These are skills which a law student must focus on during law schools, because this is something which will come very handy when the student joins the profession, because you would be required to deal with judgments on a daily basis, interpret them, and understand how to apply them to certain fact situations that a student will be faced with on a daily basis in the profession. So the law school days should be spent, in a balanced way. One must enjoy one's time there, as well as try and develop certain skill sets which will be handy when one ventures out into the profession and one doesn't face much difficulties. Then the transition becomes easier.
So, sir, how should law students go about building their resume, and what are the things that they should keep in mind while constructing a structure for a resume?
There is no right or wrong answer to it, but one of the things that I would advise is not to keep your resume too long. You've seen a number of students having a resume running into 5 to 10 pages, putting down every conference that they attended. That's not advisable. It's important to be very precise and have a resume which is not running into more than 2 pages and at the max 3 pages. And it is not the number of moot courts that you did that matters. You might have done 20 moot courts during your law school days, but all of them did not be mentioned. What matters is how many moot courts did you win the best speaker award, or were you the best researcher, or were you the winners trophy? Did you win the winners trophy, or were you the runners up? So if eventually you did two moots and won two of them, or were the runners up in those two must find a mention in your CV. Similarly, in your publications, assuming you've got 10, 15 publications, then you need to identify, you need to customize your CV. Supposedly you're applying to a law firm for a corporate practice area job. So therefore, your articles in company law and foreign direct investment law must find a priority and must find a mention in your CV compared to your articles in public law, administrative law. So whereas if you're applying for an IP position, you must demonstrate your interest in that subject area, and that is what your CV must communicate. And then the most important thing, avoid any typos in your resume, because quite often happens a typo indicates that you're not serious about your own resume. And the third thing is, know your resume inside out. So it should be at the back of your hand, and whenever anybody asks you any question, it should not happen that you don't know what you did in an internship. What happens normally when we interview a number of candidates for internships, for that matter, they say they write a number of things that they've undertaken in prior internships, but they're not able to elucidate upon them clearly. So that's something which, whatever you do, you must know it inside out, and try and get into the depth of whatever you've done. So as you graduate, nobody expects you to have a very wise knowledge of law, but whatever you've done, you must demonstrate thoroughness and an attention to detail. That's all that matters.
So, sir, now coming to the question of internships, how should one plan internship during their law school days?
So as I told you, there are a number of opportunities that is available to a young graduating out of law school these days. So accordingly, therefore, internships present an opportunity where one can experience various streams and then decide at the time of graduating which one would what they want to pursue as a career. So therefore, what I would suggest is have a diversified interns. Do not pigeonhole yourself and start from law firms from the first year itself. Have a diversified experience and pursue internships on all different places for the first 3 years. Then narrow down on your areas of interest in fourth and fifth year of your law school. And by the fourth and fifth year, if you have a diversified experience, you would be able to understand what is your calling, where do you want to graduate and work. And accordingly, you can then focus your internships in fourth and fifth year in those particular areas. So therefore, from the beginning, you can intern at an NGO, we can intern with a district judge, you can intern with a district court lawyer, a high court lawyer, a Supreme Court lawyer, and do it with a media house, maybe with a policy organization. And then in the fourth and fifth years, once you're clear where you want to end yourself with, then you can pursue it with a law firm, or with a company, wherever you want to, where do you want to see yourself after graduation, and accordingly plan your law school internships from the beginning. And the tip that one must follow is try and apply early. So supposedly you want to do an NGO internship in your first year, then you must identify 4 to 5 NGOs where you want to intern and apply early, and with a good cover letter and resume, and then do regular follow-ups. And you can hopefully land your coveted internship.
So, sir, regarding writing legal articles, how should a law student approach writing or publishing a legal articles during their law school days?
So basically, law students do a number of projects during the semester itself. Now, what is important is number of times they take up projects or topics in which they may not find that much interest in, and therefore, what happens is eventually they do the research, but they don't do it put it that their heart and mind is not into that topic. So, what I would advise is when you are required to do submit a project in a particular subject, take 10-15 days and identify a topic which interests you, which fascinates you, and at the same time is sort of an area of law where you can give your own viewpoint, and or is a gray area of law, and then take that topic as your project. And while working on the project itself, keep in mind that, look, at the after the project I want to convert it, and and it can be easily converted into a journal article, and then identify journal articles and publish them. So therefore, the research, the topic identification becomes very important. And whenever you select a topic, as a professor would say, why, what, how norms should be followed. You must understand why are you selecting this topic for, and what you want to do with this topic, and how do you want to go about your research and your project and writing. If you follow this three, then you can come out with good articles and be argumentative. Always try and provide your own arguments, rather than just saying so and so decision says this, and then providing a summary of those decisions. If you're using a decision, provide see how the judges have decided, whether the rationale is right or wrong, and then provide your own analysis. That's how your writing will strike a chord and will differentiate you from the rest. And then also, remember one thing: whatever you write and whatever you publish today, it must be something when, if you read that piece after 3-4 years later, you must be proud that, look, I have written that article, right? And it's an article which you enjoyed writing. So pursue something which you enjoy, and therefore select topics which you enjoy. You just need not select a topic whatever is imposed on you. And I think there is enough academic freedom at all law schools where you can select project topics on your own, and no teacher will deny you that opportunity.
That's a wonderful advice, sir. So, sir, my next question is, how much did the COVID-19 impact the legal sector itself? And what is your opinion on a virtual court hearing?
It certainly has an impact on every other sector. Like it also has an impact on the legal sector. But our courts have definitely adapted well. The most of the courts very soon have resorted to virtual court hearings, and almost initially matters of extreme urgency used to be filed. Now that extreme urgency threshold has been lowered, and therefore once you can demonstrate certain level of urgency, you can file that matter, and that matter is taken up through VC for hearing. And it is the technology has turned out to be very efficient, and what it does is that it reduces travel time of going to the court, and you can do a hearing sitting from your home. And in a sense, it has been very seamless, and one has to applaud our courts. The way they have adapted, particularly the high courts and the Supreme Courts have adapted very seamlessly. And in fact, in a day, a judge might be hearing around 20 to 30 matters easily. So in that sense, our justice dispensation system has really adapted well to this COVID-19 period. And hopefully, slowly we'll find, but the challenge is also different in the sense that not all lawyers have the facility of internet at their home, and therefore so therefore the VC hearings are sort of a challenge which not every lawyer can adapt and do hearings. So therefore, but at the present moment, we do not have any other option given the pandemic situation. But so far, the adaptation has been very, very nice.
So, sir, my last question is, what one last piece of advice would you like to give to the students who are just freshly graduate from the law school?
I think it's important to be authentic to who you are. It's important to identify your own calling and pursue that calling, rather than saying X, Y, Z is doing this, and therefore I will do that. It may not necessarily suit you. You must identify your own passions and then pursue a certain. If that passion means litigation is what you want to do, then you must pursue it wholeheartedly. But you must identify it for your own self, and therefore it is always important to find an area of law which interests you. Today we are in an era of specialization, so therefore anything which interests you, can go deep into it and build a name for yourself in that area. And one of the most important things is to find a mentor. There is a It is very important that at an early stage of your career that you find a mentor. A mentor helps you breeze that gap between academics and the profession easily and guides you at every footstep. So a good mentor can really make a significant difference in this profession. And it is important to be a little patient in your early days. There will be ups and downs, good days and bad days. All of us experience it, but it is important to have a balanced perspective and see every day as a day where one can learn something new and grow in the profession.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving us time. Thank you for interacting with us. And I hope that this going to help lot of young minds to pursue their career in law. And thank you for joining us.